compound was not meant to be permanent. There are concerns the Qunari influence is no longer contained.
Was it ever? Kirkwall has tension enough between Templar and mage. But these Qunari, they sit like gargoyles waiting for maker-knows-what, and everyone goes mad around them. Nearly 4 years I've stood between fanatics. And now, this.
Don't keep us in suspense.
Leave us. Meredith at my throat, Orsino at my heels, and a city scared of heretical giants. Balance has held because the Qunari ask for nothing. Even the space in Lowtown was a gift to contain them. But now, the Arishok has requested you. By name. What did you do?
I can't help it if I make an impression.
Apparently not. I remember how you helped my son. It seems you are meant to have influence above your station. Speak to the Arishok. Give him what he needs to keep the peace. Can you do that for Kirkwall, Sirrah Hawke?
I've seen hate for them, but I haven't heard anything major in years.
Zealots are bravest where their lies can't be argued, behind closed doors. Chantry leaders see Qunari beliefs as a challenge, not an attack. But the message gets muddled among casual adherents. I'm certainly not equipped to argue the fine points of faith.
Have the years been kind to Seamus?
He is his own man. But your actions tempered him somewhat. He's not so angry at the world. I thank you for that. I may not agree with him on many things, but I am proud of what he is becoming.
The Qunari usually arrive as conquerors. Odd that this has gone on so long.
Very, and I have no interest in antagonizing them. That is partially why I suffer being a messenger today. A treaty exists, and it has been honored. Although...
You have doubts?
They claim they're waiting for a second ship. But it has been 3 years. They want something else.
Any idea what I can expect?
None. Honestly, I don't think I've heard 2 direct words from the Arishok. Other than his rather deliberate phrasing of begone. If you think his asking me to notify you of this is strange, well, you would be right.
I am always willing to assist.
Well, that is an attitude this city has lacked for a long time. Appease the Arishok. Take his demand and let him return to dormancy. As awkward as this has been, it is better than the alternative.
Seamus, wasn't it? The Viscount's boy.
You're here rather often, Sirrah Hawke. A good influence, I think. Even by not taking sides, you helped start something. I still accept no blame for defending Qunari. And I don't miss the kinship of the people who oppose what I believe.
You're determined to be a thorn in someone's side. Good for you.
I'm the son of the Viscount. My actions are dissected no matter what I believe. I may as well try to do some good. If I offend, well, some people try very hard to be offended. There are other ways to see the world. The Qunari have shown me that. Another time.
We'll need to give them answers by tomorrow, Captain.
I'll have them. Dismissed.
The Seneschal was particularly vocal.
Dismissed. You'd think the Captain of the Guard could requisition a Templar or 2, but no, that would be demeaning. Can't have them working for the people when eternity needs a nanny.
That's why I remain unimportant. Less pressure.
As if the return of the Amels hasn't set Hightown on its ear.
As long as it's off its ass.
Sure, have your fun. But the coin you poured into Kirkwall tipped what balance there was.
I didn't realize I was making it worse by getting ahead.
I'm just harassing you. Although you are a bit like the center of a hurricane. You've changed fortunes for many people, not always for the better.
Sounds like you're spreading yourself pretty thin.
There are a lot of people in my charge. Someone has to look out for them.
You guard the guardsmen?
I don't turn people loose like Jevon. There's additional training, doubled patrols. Costs are up, but I've halved injuries. I'll take it and argue with Seneschal Bran later.
After the last captain, you couldn't have expected this to be easy.
At least I had the guards on my side. Once they understood, they rallied. And those who didn't weren't fit to hold the crest. Stack friends against the enemies. I don't know if I came out ahead, but it's for the better.
Grouse all you want, but the Aveline I know doesn't regret a second as captain.
They'd have to drag me out of here. And I'm sure some are lining up to try. You among them, I bet. Haven't had much time to follow you around. Not that I need to. I can trust that you at least try to do right.
Oh, there you are. I've been looking everywhere for you, Messiah. If only you humans didn't all look the same.
We can't all be short and bearded like your people, Bodan.
Indeed. It's quite a shame, really. There's a gentleman waiting at the mansion. He insists on seeing you. He says his name is Dougal. Your mother thought it wise, I tell you, Messiah.
I paid Dougal years ago. Why would he be back now?
He wouldn't tell me, I'm afraid. He refused to come back another day, even after I told him repeatedly that I didn't know when you would return. He doesn't really seem like the most reputable sort, I'm afraid, even for a dwarf.
You ran all this way just to tell me I had a visitor?
I didn't want to presume what you might find important, Missy. Before I go, may I simply say how grateful I am that you've allowed my boy to stay in your home. I said I would repay you for saving Sandal's life, and I shall serve you faithfully. It is good to know he is safe.
Let me guess. This was Mother's idea?
As you say, yes. I'll leave you to your business. Don't forget about your guest. Your mother claims he was eyeing the silverware.
You've settled in nicely.
It's just luck. And skill.
Indeed. Still, more coin never hurts, right? Say, if someone wanted to pass some work your way...
So, how can I be of service this time?
Someone's trying to be a guard, poorly. Remember Emmerich, the Templar? He wants your help, and some sort of official sanction.
Official sanction?
For his investigation. He's convinced that every random murder in the past few years is connected, and he won't be quiet.
You don't think it's worth investigating?
I have. He even convinced one of my lieutenants to raid the Dupuis mansion. Nothing there. You wouldn't believe how much ass I had to kiss after that. Bloody hobbyist constable. Why can't he spend his declining years building a boat or something?
Seems like it should be easy to prove if there are bodies.
Kirkwall isn't the safest place. That doesn't mean everything terrible is related. There's no sense to that. Can't be.
Muzzle the geezer. Got it.
I would never say that. But if it leads somewhere genuine, I'll pick it up on your word. If he shuts up, that's good too. He's in the gallows. Thanks, Hawke. I appreciate it.
Why, hello again. Lovely home you have here. And may I say your mother makes for delightful company?
Another visitor. We've moved up in the world, Mother.
Evidently so.
My apologies, Sirrah. Your son and I simply have a bit of business to conclude.
I'll leave you two alone then. Be careful.
Darling woman. A shame that she spends so much time here alone.
She fills her days making poisons. And cake. Tell me you didn't try the cake.
Good thing I just had the tea then. Hmm? Allow me to get right to the point. I know all this came from Deep Road's treasure. I know you repaid me, but I think I deserve a larger share of your fortune. Fair's fair, right?
Isn't this a conversation we should have had, say, 3 years ago?
What can I say? Things have gone poorly for me and I'm a bitter man. Give me another, 100 sovereigns and I'll go away. If you don't, I'll make things unpleasant. Simple enough, no?
What do you mean by that?
Well, let's see. I think people would like to know just what happened to Bartrand, wouldn't they? I know he betrayed you, but nobody else does. Your partner disappears, and you end up rich.
There hasn't been a single question asked about that.
Yet. Questions could be asked. About you, about your red-headed friend in the city guard, about your sudden riches. Help me out, and my friends in the Carta will make sure the evidence I have never sees the light of day.
There's no evidence. There couldn't be.
Does it have to be real? I think it just has to raise enough questions. How much do you want your new friend the Viscount to know about your past? Not much, I'll wager.
Let's see. Do I respond well to threats? I don't think I do.
Pity. Have it your way, Hawke. We'll be seeing each other again, I'm sure.
It's strange living here again. My childhood home. Now owned by my child. I do hope you've been upfront with me about really owning it. I don't want to be at the mercy of that wretched Dougal. It's nice to be here, though. To feel like an Amel again.
Just don't go all pompous on me, all right?
I promise. If there's one thing I learned in Ferelden, it's that good people can be born in a hut as easily as a palace. Honestly, after so many years as a peasant's wife, it feels strange to have nothing to do. I visited Bethany at the Circle, and she seems happy enough. I guess I just need to start finding you a suitable wife.
I like the doggy. Ruff, ruff, ruff.
It looks like they're having a nice chat. Maybe Sandal picked up some Mabari speak from our time at the Hero of Ferelden's camp.
Should have been. There's something to it, I swear. It's a sign from blessed Andraste.
When was the last time you were with a woman?
Never. Women are harlots who seek to steal my life essence.
Seems like a lot of work for little gain.
It's like you haven't moved in 3 years.
It's easier for people to find me this way. Do you remember the relic I told you about? The one I need to find? I've been following a lead. I'm so close I can taste it.
Isn't that what you said last time?
Oh, you mean when I went digging for that stash?
Yes, that turned out to contain several badly written poems and an old boot.
It could have contained the relic. I just thought I'd let you know that I may soon be taking you up on that offer of help.
Do I get a kiss from the feisty temptress when I present her with the hard-won prize?
If you want. I'll even let you choose where I plant it.
Just tell me if you hear more rumblings from the coterie about protection. Blondie's got enough trouble. Let me ask you something, Hawke. You made it into Hightown. I'd expect anyone else to get complacent, but you must have plans.
I could go into business for myself. You must have pointers on that, don't you, Varric?
A business is like a puppy. Take your eyes off it, and soon there's shit all over your floor. To be honest, I thought there might be a chance you'd want to go back to Ferelden now that things have calmed down. It's good to hear you're sticking around.
What would I do without my trusty dwarf? I'd cry myself to sleep without you.
Oh, don't get all teary-eyed on me, Hawke. You know I can't stand to see a human cry. So, we've got a whole city-state full of trouble to get into. Shall we get started?
Why are you so successful with men? You're not that pretty.
Cast a wide enough net and you're bound to catch something.
At least you're willing to admit it.
Trust me. I've heard "get away from me, you pirate hag" more times than I care to count.
Doesn't that bother you?
Why should it? They don't know me. I know me.
Why do so many mages insist on...
Hello, Emmerich. The guard captain says you're still chasing disappearing acts.
That's not funny. I need your help urgently. I've spent the past few years continuing my investigation into the murders of Ninette, Marin, and the other women. I believe I finally have a suspect. A man called Gascard Dupuis.
Dupuis. That's a funny name.
It's Olesian. I believe he is descended from nobility. When I became convinced of his guilt, I went to the city guard and demanded that they do something.
My men raided that house. There was nothing, and I've heard no end because of it. You were reprimanded, I hope?
Meredith forbade me from continuing my investigation. But she didn't say I couldn't seek outside help.
Were you the only person investigating these murders?
Yes, unfortunately. The Templar Order believes this is a matter for the City Guard. And the City Guard, well, they rejected my evidence and dismissed the murders as isolated incidents. They don't care either.
I've seen your evidence. Scattered notes, conjecture, nothing remotely usable. You can't expect us to act on your hunches alone. Look what happened when we did.
The guards who searched Gascard's place were incompetent. They didn't know what they were looking for.
Fine, if you insist.
I retrieved a sack of human remains for you. Didn't you show it to the guard?
I did. They said the remains could have been gathered together by scavengers looking for bits of gold and jewelry. They said there was no way to tell if the remains even belonged to the missing women.
I'm sorry, Emmerich, but that's the truth of it.
What have you learned about Gascard Dupuis?
He's a reclusive nobleman who's rarely seen outside his estate in Hightown. He knew 2 of the murdered women and made inquiries about the others. It cannot be a coincidence.
It cannot be a coincidence. It sounds exactly like a coincidence.
Gascard Dupuis is hiding something. I'm convinced of it.
And I'm supposed to be the outside help.
My hands are tied. I can't do this on my own. What if one of the women who died was someone you loved? If Gascard Dupuis is guilty, he must be stopped before he kills again.
Then we will investigate Dupuis, if only to put this to rest.
If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. At least I'll know for sure.
Why is it always Hawke to the rescue?
I can't really answer that. You'll need to go to Gascard Dupuis' estate after nightfall. Please figure out what Dupuis is hiding. If he's innocent, find evidence to prove me wrong. It's just that simple.
Yes, they found us. I'm sure you're not surprised. After you turned us loose with no aid, no food, only a moment's head start. Where else could we end up?
They got Grace and the others. Brought them back here.
Make it out of here. We were lucky.
You're looking well. My store is much better stocked thanks to you. If you're interested in hunting down more ingredients, I can make other creations. And of course, I'll pay you for your work.
Sure. Just let me know what you need.
Perfect. I have a list of ingredients right here.
You lied to me, but we called these apostates anyway.
Hawke, the new scion of the Amel family. Congratulations. Anyway, what can I do for you?
Is there anything I can help the Templars with?
Oh, you're kind to offer, but after what happened with Tirani 3 years ago, the Knight Commander has closed ranks. Our own men undergo weekly questioning, and she's eliminated all work with outsiders. It's hard to keep recruitment up enough to maintain our numbers.
Everyone seems concerned about the Qunari. What's the Templars' stance?
They are heathens. They will stop at nothing less than the eradication of the Chantry. But we can't know the immediate goals of the Qunari in Kirkwall. Should it come to open conflict, we are the largest army in the city. We will be the ones to lead its defense.
I keep hearing about the Knight Commander. When do I get to meet her?
I'm afraid she's become more reclusive since you came to Kirkwall, Hawke. These last 3 years especially, she's been very suspicious of outside influences. I almost wonder if something happened.
The Knight Commander found Grace and the other Starkhaven mages. They're still in quarantine.
Well, look who's here!
I knew it.
It turns out we'll need to do this the hard way, Hawke. I'll get the money you owe me if I have to tear your mansion apart brick by brick.
So you thought an ambush would get you what you want?
I considered going after your mother, but I prefer the direct approach. Boys, let's make this quick. I want to be in that mansion within the hour.
Looks like Gasgard's been busy.
Those raiding the estate met that particular reception. Why would Gasgard be inquiring about escaped mages from Starkhaven?
You're not him. Shit, I know what this looks like, but I didn't hurt her.
So the wild-eyed hysteria is just for show, then?
You don't understand. Someone is after her. I had to keep her safe. I don't know why you're here, but there's a killer out there, and I think he's playing us both. Just let me explain.
All right. We'll see if you can talk yourself out of this.
20 silver if he says, "It wasn't me, it was the one-armed man."
Several years ago, my sister was murdered. The bastard's now in Kirkwall, killing again. The same way he killed my sister. It starts with a bouquet of white lilies. He sends them to each new victim. Alessa was going to be next. I took her, so he'd have to come to me. I was finally going to face my sister's killer, but then you showed up.
He's lying! He hurt me!
I've explained this. I need your blood to track you down. If he took you, it was for your protection.
Let go of me!
She'll go straight to the city guard. They'll ruin everything.
I could report you to the Templars for blood magic.
Yes, I've used blood magic and lyrium to augment my powers. I'm not proud of what I've done, but I had to. He took my sister from me.
Can't you just tell the city guard what you told me?
Yes, can't you?
Why? I don't want him arrested. This isn't about justice. I need to be the one to bleed him dry.
Selfish little shit. How many of you risked by keeping this to yourself?
Emmerich was certain you were the killer.
Of course he was. But I was trying to find the killer just like him. Our paths crossed and he just assumed I was the murderer.
You really did make yourself a target, though. Kidnapping people and all.
I suppose that's fair.
Who killed your sister?
A powerful and experienced blood mage. I believe he uses the women for some ritual. His victims are attractive, healthy women with few social ties.
Nice story, but I don't buy it.
No. I've worked too hard. It can't end like this.
Were you listening to that guy in the Hanged Man last night?
Your eyes are like bumblebees flying into the window of my soul.
My favorite was, your lips are like the wings of sparrows. Red ones, with no feathers.
Oh, speak, and send the plucked wings of your lips soaring.
I'd buy the guy a drink, but I don't think he needs one.
Aren't you Hawke? Emmerich left not long ago. He said you'd arranged to meet tonight.
Did I tell him that? I must have completely forgotten.
Don't you remember sending this message?
I didn't send this.
You didn't? Strange.
That's not a good sign.
Well, I don't know. Emmerich's been acting strangely for months. It's probably just a misunderstanding. Some mage sent that thing here to kill him. Why would anyone... Oh, Maker. The murders. Emmerich was right. He was getting too close. He suspected a man named Gascard Dupuis. Did he do this?
I killed Gascard.
Then who sent the creature? Whoever did this is a dangerous apostate that Meredith will want found. I will see to it personally.
My guardsman will find Alessa, the woman who was with Gascard. She might still be in danger.
Thank you for your help in this matter. If you learn anything more, please come to me.
So, this is where you live. Not bad. I preferred the old place. It had, more charm.
You're talking about the shack I shared with my mother, uncle, and sister.
I meant Lowtown. Dirty, chaotic, glorious Lowtown. The smell of tar, and the sea, and the sound of some whore plying her trade in a back alley. Oh. Don't you miss that?
You can get your thrills in Hightown if you know where to look.
Oh. And where would that be?
I can show you what I have in mind.
I should go. That was an interesting diversion.
Is that all I am to you? Oh, my wounded heart.
We were using each other, sweet thing. I was curious about you, and now my curiosity is sated. Wait. You're not thinking of bringing feelings into this, are you?
What about love?
Love? We were ratting. It has nothing to do with love.
It's not always up to you. Love can be pretty persistent.
I don't care. It can go pester someone else. Did you know I was once married? When I was freed, I swore I would never marry again.
I can't imagine you married.
I was his plaything. A prized possession. He saw me with my mother at the market in Lemerin and decided he had to have me. My mother gave me away for a goat and a handful of gold coins. She didn't even haggle over the price. Bitch.
Your marriage was loveless, and you've never experienced true love.
Oh, I've been in love. I fell in love with a man not long after my husband died. He foolishly asked for my hand. I refused to be tied down again, and I fled. It broke his heart. Destroyed him.
Love them and leave them, eh?
That's right. He should have known better.
How were you freed from the marriage?
My husband took an assassin's blade to the back of the skull. And before you start jumping to conclusions, no, I didn't hire the assassin. I did thank him profusely, however. Ah, Zevran. He was an artist.
You're not afraid of being hurt. You're just afraid of hurting someone else.
No, Look, it isn't like that. It's just easier this way. Now, if you're done trying to confuse the issue, I'm going to go.
Did you ever run the wilds, boy? Kirkwall is no city for a breed used to open spaces. Nice as your estate is, it's not healthy for a Mabari to be cooped up. May I take him to the barracks time to time? He could help train my guards.
Good idea. He'll put the fear of dog into them.
Good. I think it's time they face down a good old Mabari charge. How about it, boy? Want to chew on some recruits?
You are Hawke. A patrol went missing along the Wounded Coast. The Arishok says you have some semblance of honor. So tell me, did you kill them?
If I did kill them, why would I tell you? You just attacked me.
I seek an answer to a question. What has happened to the missing Karatam? Vengeance is not relevant to this task.
I can't be your only suspect. There's Coterie, Carter, Templars. Take your pick.
You think the boss in this city could fell a Karatam? Hardly. You are another matter. If you are not responsible, I waste my time here.
Out Basra until the Arishok declares otherwise.
Sirrah Hawke.
Yes?
Last we met, I did not know your name. Did not care to. You have changed your fortune over the years. The Kunari have not. I offer a courtesy, Hawke. Someone has stolen what he thinks is the formula for Gatlok. You will want to hunt him.
Excuse me, but this sounds like quite the feat.
It was allowed. The stolen formula was a decoy. Sarkamek, a poison gas, not explosives. A small amount is dangerous enough to your kind, but if made in quantity, perhaps by someone intending to sell it.
That merchant, Javaris.
Would he be cautious? Or would he assume success and make enough to threaten a district? A courtesy, Hawke. You will want to hunt him.
Any idea where we can find Javaris?
I heard about a sell-off. Merchant territories and such. They don't do that unless someone left in a hurry. I'd have figured he'd rooked some noble. He's sure not a burglar.
Just tell me where he is.
I haven't kept up on the squirt. Ask the coterie.
Panahedon, Hawke. It will be interesting to see if you die.
So the Seneschal's tax collector won't be coming around again like you asked. Funny story.
I'll pass, but thank you for the help.
Spoil sport.
Why you want to squat up here in Hightown is beyond me.
I like the view.
So do I.
Three years. There's still no sign of Denarius. I'm beginning to wonder if he's finally given up.
This is his mansion, isn't it? He must know you're here.
Would you be surprised to learn that it isn't, in fact, his mansion? It belongs to a Tevinter merchant, one who has evidently given up on the place. Perhaps he is dead. Perhaps Denarius killed him. Either way, if Denarius is aware of my presence, he has done nothing.
Don't tell me you're going to miss all the attention.
Tell me, what do you do when you stop running?
You take a breath and look around. And start anew.
I don't know how. My first memory is receiving these markings. The lyrium being branded into my flesh. The agony wiped away everything. Whatever life I had before I became a slave, it's lost. I shouldn't trouble you with this. My problems are not yours.
You don't know who you were?
Fenris was the name Denarius bestowed upon me, his little wolf. If I once had another name or a family, then they were taken from me. But again, this is not your concern.
We can talk about this, Fenris.
Maybe another time. But enough. You have much to keep you busy, I'm certain.
You're selling the assets of Javaris Tintob?
We are. Limited districts, limited contracts. Keeps territory clear and separate from the start. He had a meager lot, but he skipped with dues outstanding. So up it goes.
Sounds like he's made a few friends. Can one of them point me his way?
Ask that about anyone else, I'd have you thrown out. This one, he owes me too. Javaris left in a hurry. I'd put him at Smuggler's Cut if he's avoiding patrols. It empties at a cave outside town. Tell him I said, don't come back.
Not the trail I'd expect from a master thief. Just saying.
That any way to greet an old friend?
You? Granny's garters, she would hire you. I can't buy a break on discount. You know what? Go ahead. Take my head and pike it back to that sodding elf. I need the rest.
What in blazes are you talking about?
Wait, you don't know? Then what? You're tracking for the Kunari? Then she did it. That elf got them after me for nothing. Bitch born.
Ah, I knew he was no burglar. We're not climbers.
Look, I'm minding business, same old. And out of the blue, some elf tries to kill me. Says she's got the Kunari powder and I'm her cover. I slipped her, hired some bodyguards, and ran for it. And now you're here. Great.
So far, all I see is you.
Leaving the other person behind is the first step in running away. Sorry if that's inconvenient. Here. You want to drag Dark into light? I had a man follow her. The elf's in Lowtown. I just want to get out with my dead guards. Thanks for that.
Sounds like you have a long way to go. Hopefully.
Right. Got me a rosy future to plan out. Think I'll start by selling some boots. Sodding bunch of... Take a long breath on a short shaft, you blasted doglord inroaders.
I can't fight the damned air. You want to live, stay out.
What's going on, Mason?
Guard Captain, there's... I can't even describe.
On your time, son.
Reports of some haze with a stench of rust and throw-up. There was a cloud, then a lingering mist. Anyone caught in the cloud just went mad. Then the others just retched themselves dead.
All right, keep your post. We'll take it from here. He's a good man. Trust that it's as bad as he says.
How about we skip this one? Send your man instead.
How about I shove a canary up your coal mine? Let's go. Maker. We need to stop this mist. Find the source.
This should do the trick on those barrels. So, your fault, I presume?
Is that Sirrah Hawke? You have enemies. I'm glad it's you, really. These poor people. You are a much better target.
So, care to explain your particular brand of crazy?
Qunari take my people. My siblings forget their culture, then go to the Qun for purpose. We're losing them twice. So I get some help from your people. We'll take the Qunari Thunder, make some accidents, and make them hate it. But this is all wrong.
You were going to kill people anyway. That's not funny at all, really.
It can still work. They're hidden in your city. They'll enrage the faithful and make sure the Qunari are blamed. Me, I'm finished. I just need a few more bodies. A few more.
That's right! You heard me!
The Arashok was right, and wrong. You'll need to know about this.
Thank you,
So, I was wrong about our thief.
You'll get used to it.
They say we were careless with our trap, that this is our fault. But even without the Sarkamek, there would have been death. This elf was determined to lay blame at our feet. Selfishness, want, denial. How do you allow this to continue?
If you won't talk straight, then we won't talk.
Hold. Since we arrived, I have seen nothing but greed and weakness. Dwarves, humans, elves, just festering. No order, no goal. You are one of the few I have met with any ability. And yet this too was random, a result of selfishness. I cannot fathom how a mire like this can be justified. You turned from me. Do you turn as easily from all this chaos?
Why would anyone want to change it?
You like it?
It's a city of people living their lives, for good or ill.
Karisten are soldiers. The Qun made it so. They can never vary from that assigned path, never be other than they are meant to be. But they are free to choose within that role, to accept and succeed, or deny and die. Glory is clear and defined. You allow chaos for good or ill, but one is clearly superior. Can you see how that certainty would benefit this whole city?
Sorry, I find myself distracted by deny and die.
And yet you accept the random violence that plagues this nation. I wonder if the weaker of your citizens would be so close to certainty. Your kind may force our role to change, if the Qun demands.
Why aren't you more concerned about her supporters?
Our enemies strike from shadow because they cannot stand before us. This is not a revelation. And it doesn't matter. I am not here to fight. I am here to satisfy a demand you cannot understand.
It's taking long enough.
It will take as long as needed. No ship is coming. There is no rescue from duty to the Qun. I am stuck here.
You could have built a ship by now, you know.
It is not about a ship. Filth stole from us. Not now, not the Sarkamek. Years ago. A simple act of greed has bound me. We are all denied Parvolin until I alone recover what was lost under my command. That is why this elf and her shadows are unimportant. That is why I do not simply walk from this pustule of a city. Fixing your mess is not the demand of the Qun, and you should all be grateful! Thank you, human, for your service. Leave.